First up, from the Optimism team, please welcome Josh Gondelman!
Yes, please. Hello, everyone. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here amongst you. First, a point of order. I have some rebuttals to take care of. First comes from my esteemed colleague, Hallie. Carmen said, no one looks good in yellow, and then brought up Beyonce. Fatal flaw, Beyonce looks great in yellow. Carmen also said that optimism is a Band-Aid, like that's a bad thing. Without a Band-Aid, you just bleed everywhere. Use Band-Aids, they're good. Even Kevin, the most appealing part of Kevin's plea for realism, other than his beautiful singing, was when he said, there's a lot that could be better. That's optimism pretending to be realism. Here's the thing. We've heard a lot from our opposing team, right? From the realist team. And it was a fucking bummer. The kind of thing, if someone started talking to you like that at a party, you would pretend to have diarrhea so you could leave. Is that the way you want to live? Look, I've got a PowerPoint for you guys. I'm an optimist. I'll say that right now. As a person, glass half full, a defensive optimism. I'm in the way of my own words. I'm an optimist. And I live in New York, and I know that that's not popular here, right? Nobody in New York likes it when you think things are going to be okay. Everybody here loves a pessimist. Everybody loves a guy in a black leather jacket smoking a cigarette. Like, we were all born just to die. Flicks the lit button to Rat's face, like, life is pain, little buddy, learn it. New Yorkers see that guy, they're like, that's a cool guy, right? That guy gets it. He probably knows why the Velvet
Josh, I'm sorry, this has come up twice now with the leather jacket. What year are we in?
What year are we in?
These teens with the cigarettes and the leather jackets, I feel that perhaps we're dealing with another era.
Oh yeah, let's pretend it's distressed jeans.
The 80s.
Have you seen now?
Well, I'm an AARP. I don't know what the kids are wearing. I don't know what they're wearing. And I did not mean that disrespectfully. I'm just saying that it came up twice now, the leather jackets and cigarettes.
I feel like it's a very New York idea of what's cool, right? This is me though, I'm an optimist, right? Nobody likes that. People see a pessimist in New York is the point, regardless of their aesthetic, and they think that's a cool guy. That guy knows why the Velvet Underground is a good band. He can probably taste the difference between different kinds of beer instead of just going, very beery, and putting it down for everybody. You know, I'm just drinking a milkshake by myself, like, can you believe there's a sunset every day? Wow. People meet me and they're like, dude, you're gonna die falling off a Ferris wheel trying to catch a shooting star. That's your destiny. How are you the only adult Jew I've ever met who seems like he still believes in Santa? People think of optimists like this, right? Like they're a fucking, just like a human version of Airbnb decorations you bought from Target. Orphans convinced they're about to be adopted by a bald millionaire. Or people that buy scratch-off lottery tickets as gifts. And the optimism isn't there that the scratch-offs would win. It's that someone would be satisfied getting a $3 birthday present they immediately have to throw away. People think optimists are anyone who blames their problems mostly on Mercury and refuses to vaccinate their children. But that's not what it is. There's a lot of justifications for realism, right? The world is a bad place. That's one. Of course it is. People who believe that the world isn't a bad place, they're not called, or people who think the world isn't a bad place, they're not called optimists. They're called fucking morons. The world is horrible, and we have to live there. If the world were a good place, you wouldn't need optimism. You could just describe things as they are. You'd be like, I ran a marathon, and it felt like having 3 hours of orgasms while eating chocolate sundaes. They also say there's this conventional wisdom that optimists are annoying, right? We just heard it from Carmen. What you're thinking of as optimism being annoying now is unexamined privilege. Optimism is delightful. People want to feel the warm bath of the idea that things could get better. When you're thinking of being annoyed at someone who's optimistic, what you're thinking of is this 3-circled Venn diagram. I should have made a picture, but I'm optimistic enough to think you can go with me. 3-circled Venn diagram where one is being rich, one is being hot, and one is being dumb. And that's the kind of optimism, right? Elon Musk lives in that rich part of the Venn diagram of optimists we hate. That's why he's always saying things like, what if a refrigerator could be a little colder? Or like, what if all the trains went faster and underground? And we're like, that's the subway. And he's like, no, I invented it. And we're like, knock it off. Kim Kardashian is hot and rich. That's why she thinks she can reform the criminal justice system. She's like, people just listen to me and I don't know why, but I'm gonna use it for good. Rob Gronkowski, Gronk, the retired NFL football player, is hot, rich, and dumb. And that's why he's irritating, because he's 30 years old, rich, retired, and lives his life like he's a St. Bernard on an after-prom party bus. Realists like to say that if you set your expectations low, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good way to live. Never take any risks. Live a mediocre life so you don't feel disappointment, right? It's like bowling right down the middle. 8. 8. 8. And then 2/3 of your life is a 7-10 split. Dream a little bit better, right? Thinking of living your life to avoid disappointment, right? Just trying to manage expectations is the way you lock yourself into a loveless marriage or a Bloomberg presidency. And I'm here to say, Upper West Side, steer clear of both. Things are improved by optimism, right? It's practical. Realism improves very little. Look, breakups. Or, sorry, rainy days. I went out of order. Realists say, oh no, if I go outside, my shoes might get ruined, and I should probably bring an umbrella. Sure, that's realistic. Optimists say, oh good, a chance to cancel plans with total impunity. I can clear out my DVR guilt-free, which is what I wanted to do in the first place, instead of al fresco brunch. Cool, yeah, I wanted to drink a Bloody Mary that was rising to the temperature of the sidewalk with pancakes surrounded by bees. That's what I wanted. No, I want to order food, eat it on my own couch while I'm lying down, just eating it off my stomach. Now breakups. Realists say, well, that's sad, but maybe I'll find someone else, or maybe I won't. I guess I should get back on the apps. Optimists say I deserve to be with someone who is as into me as I'm into them. And maybe the next person won't flinch when I kiss them after I eat something with garlic in it, like they're a fucking vampire. And maybe I'll get to try some of the new sex stuff that I see on prestige premium television dramas that we would watch together, and we'd both be like, that's weird, right? Even though we both wanted to do it, but we're so entrenched and realistic that we never tried it together. Why wouldn't the future hold that for me? Illness. Realists say this will take a lot of energy to recover from, and I'm falling behind on the things that I need to do in my life. And that might be true. But optimists hear that, and they also say, this feels awful. And someday, in the future, maybe with a lot of hard work, my enemies will feel this same pain. And I'll remember how bad I felt and be so happy. The world needs optimists, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary people. Even you, person sleeping in the second row. The world needs optimists. Optimists canvass for political candidates they believe in. Optimists send you nudes after a second date because they think you might be worth it. Optimists adopt elderly pets that they know won't be around in 10 years because they want to love them now. Optimists get vaguely excited that Weezer's putting out new music again, despite the inevitable letdown, because maybe 2 or 3 songs will be kind of good, and that's not bad. Optimists don't, this is the myth, optimists don't see the glass as half full. They see a glass that could someday be all the way full if the realists would stop fucking complaining and do something about it. Thank you.